Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I figured I would do another review for another martial arts film. Since I've already spoken about the first part, I just thought I'd do the second one, I guess you can say. This one's titled, Ong Bak 2, The Beginning. So, technically speaking, this isn't a sequel, because it's actually a prequel to the first movie, taking place quite some time before it, I guess you can say. And so yeah, supposed to set in the 15th century Thailand. So yeah, that's kind of the thing we're gonna be talking about here, folks. Even though I kind of feel like it wasn't really warrant another movie, to be honest with you. Of course, it stars the same actor, but he's playing a different character in this one, folks, because it takes place in quite some time prior, I guess you would say. So yeah, and it does touch upon some, how to say this, touchy subject matter like slavery. Yeah, that becomes a theme in a movie. Not exactly the most common thing you might find about in martial art films, really. At least not all the time. It's not that common, really. So yeah, I guess they're trying to do something a bit different in comparison with the first film and whatnot, I guess. And yeah, all right. Of course, just like the first one, there's gonna be a lot of brutal fight scenes, of course, which of course is really common, which is fine. When it comes to these specific type movies, I actually don't mind the brutal fight scenes in these kind of martial art films. So yeah, I mean, this wasn't the only time, of course, they had this kind of fighting and whatnot, which I actually don't mind really. Well, it's a survivors of the fittest, survival of the fittest, I guess you can call it. Yeah, I guess you can say that. Sounds about right. Survival of the fittest. That's what this movie reminds me of. Who can take on who when you think about it. So yeah. But anyway, I guess that's what that kind of tone of the movie is going to be talking about and whatnot. So anyway, whatever the case is, as always, I have to talk about the plot. So let's just get into it, shall we? So here we go. You get to see the film centers around this individual, this guy, who's supposed to be the son of this murdered nobleman, and is captured and sold into slavery. Then is saved from death by this individual, the leader of this group, I guess you say. It's a group of martial artists, of course, specializing in various Asian combat styles, of course. So yeah, I guess the main character gets taken under the dude's wings, so to speak, and I realizes, of course, he has lots of potential and strength in him, of course. Gotta train him in all kinds of ways, of course, when it comes to all different types of Asian martial arts and whatnot. When he grows up, he goes on this lone mission of vengeance against the slave traders and the this warlord who pretty much killed his family. So yeah, things do get pretty crazy as it goes, of course. And I was saying earlier, folks, this film is set in the 15th century, and during a sort of regime and sort of time period or whatever and whatnot. The main character is the son of this nobleman, and of course appears to be this warrior type person, of course. And I guess you say he's supposed to be this kind of disciplined kind of a person and whatnot. And but unfortunately for our main character, instead of having a good childhood or whatnot, instead of having a good adulthood, instead of having a good life, what happens here is that he is captured by this group of slave traders, whom is of course throwing him into a pool of this kind of a thing. And let's just say, yeah, yeah, this movie gets pretty insane. I guess you would say it gets really, really insane. Whenever main character does grow old, as I was saying, he's eager to start his quest for vengeance, of course. And yeah, like I was saying, he does get some help, of course. The people who done him wrong, would be tracked down, of course. The individuals who had, enslaved him and pretty much killed his family or whatever. And yeah, it gets pretty crazy in a lot of ways. Well, gotta start the story out somehow, and this one does have a pretty crazy story, I guess you'd say. It really goes out there with the plot, and I mean that in a good way because it's trying to give you a sense of, making it seem dramatic and whatnot, and it really does get pretty dramatic as a whole, of course. And yeah, trying to make it seem interesting in some ways, I guess you would say. And and the thing is that you don't necessarily need to watch the first movie to understand this one. I mean, you can watch this one first if you want, and then watch the other movie, and it'll be just fine. I mean, this one did get a sequel, which I will get to later. But yeah, this one did was pretty crazy in his own way. But in some ways, I kind of like the first one more. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad movie. It's actually really good. The fight scenes are brutal. The fight scenes are crazy. I like the story. I like the character, main character. I mean, but I kind of feel like the first one was better in a lot of ways. This was by no means a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It's enjoyable. I mean, it got pretty dark when you think about it. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy in its own little way. I do recommend it if you're somebody that wants to watch a good modern kung fu movie. This would be definitely a way to go because it's not that bad. Even though actually, when it comes to the more mainstream movies, more modern day kung fu features, I tend to avoid them like the plague. Really, but because there's a good chunk of them I didn't like really. This of course is one of the few exceptions to it. But yeah, it's not bad. No siree. It's not a bad movie whatsoever. I liked it. I liked what you're trying to do. And it's definitely well choreographed. And yeah, things get pretty damn crazy as it goes. Which I'm fine with. Gotta make it exciting somehow. But yeah, I would say check this one out if you want, I guess. But yeah, not a terrible movie by any means. No sorry. It has its moments, definitely. It definitely has its moments. And so those other things I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it as of yet. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Really, it's pretty insane in its own little way. But whatever the case is, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.0. I think it's a 7.0 out of 10 for me. And of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.